Hey up, did you miss me? Well, I know some of you did because you got in touch to ask me what was going on. I'm sorry I didn't put any videos out last week, but this whole kitchen thing got the better of me last week. Just to explain, I couldn't put the floor down before the kitchen went in because the fitter refused to fit the kitchen if there was a new floor down, which meant I had to sort of postpone that until the main part of the kitchen was in. And we had to delay the delivery of the new cooker because there was nowhere to put it until the tiles were down. So the finished week last Friday with the main part of the kitchen, which gave me 1 weekend to lay the floor tiles. It's 15 years since I put floor tiles down, and 2 sort of 14-hour days. I got the main part of it in, but I still had some cuts to do, and I realised on Monday I just wasn't going to have time to put any videos out. I needed to get the floor finished, ready for the next stage of the job. I mean, the main problem was that the surveyor needed to come in on the Tuesday to take the measurements for the worktops, and the cooker had to be in place and levelled before we could get all his gear out and take the necessary measurements. So it was a big rush just to get into that sort of alcove where the cooker goes. Also, until the tops are on, we can't have the sink and the dishwasher connected up. It's a nightmare at the moment. And at the end of the day, it could have all been avoided if the kitchen fitter hadn't been so awkward over the new floor. It's very much geared up to their convenience rather than the convenience of the customer. I'd never recommend rent to my own worst enemy. Right, so back to the Honda GB350 S. A few months ago, when I was sort of waiting for the bike to arrive, I came across a YouTube video a channel run by a young Japanese lady. Now, the GB350 S has been available in Japan for some years now, and I noticed some Webco inspired parts fitted to the engine of this custom GB350 S that she had that I thought looked rather nice. Now, as far as I knew at that time, Motone Customs were the only company making Webco inspired parts. I'll explain who Webco were in just a moment. And I thought, well, obviously someone else is doing these parts now. So I got in touch with Sam, let him know about this video, and he said, no, actually, they're my parts. We made these for the CB350 some years ago. And of course, the GB350S shares the same basic engine architecture with the older CB350. He said these are some of our biggest sellers in Japan, and in actual fact, Motone Customs is really popular in the custom scenes in Japan, which is something I wasn't aware of. Now, these Webco inspired plates replace the original chromed covers that come with the bike. Now, I have to admit, I do quite like the look of the original parts, but they are just a cheap piece of sort of pressed metal that's been chromed. And it's literally just a 3-minute job to swap them around. So, I thought I would try these Webco parts. Actually, I really like them. It gives the bike a meatier, sort of more muscular look. Now, these Webco inspired parts are precision die-cast aluminium, and they are a perfect fit on the GB350S. The only issue is the fasteners. I'll get into that in a moment. There are some different versions available. This is the powder-coated black and silver contrast cut. And the main feature of these custom parts are the cooling fins that are integrated into them. Back in the day, back in the 1950s, this was important. This is what put Webco on the map. Most bikes back in those days were air-cooled motorcycles, so when they were used in competition, overheating was a major issue. Engine seizures and failure of components through overheating was a major problem for what was, basically a consumer machine tuned to perform at a level that was beyond the manufacturer's expectations. So Webco came up with a range of what were basically air-cooled heat sinks that drew heat out of the engine and allowed more efficient cooling via those fins. Components that could be swapped out for the original parts, often including entire engine cases and sump plates, for all popular motorcycles used in competition, mainly British back in the 50s and 60s, but as they moved into the 1970s, the owner of Webco himself actually opened up a Honda dealership. And of course, he produced an entire range of these components for popular Honda motorcycles. Now, as we moved into the 1980s, liquid cooling became a thing, and the popularity of Webco parts waned. I think Webco is still going, but they don't make motorcycle parts anymore. Now, Sam brought a range of these Webco inspired parts out about 6 years ago now, I think. There's a huge range for the Triumph motorcycles, the Bonnevilles, and he produced a range of these parts for the Honda CB350. Now, the fasteners. On the original Honda CB350, you could reuse the original fasteners, and although all the tolerances on the original engine casing are exactly the same, it looks like the fastener head size has changed for the actual plates on the GB350, so you can't reuse them. They don't fit the Webco inspired part. Now, Sam was a bit shocked by this because he sells boatloads of these parts for the GBs on the Japanese market, and none of his distributors had mentioned this issue. I presume they'd just found alternative fasteners and not thought it worthy of mention. Luckily, I did have a collection of fasteners. These are M6 button head 20mm stainless steel screws with a 4mm hex Allen socket. Now, Sam's on holiday at the moment, so there wasn't an awful lot he could do when I told him about this issue, but he is going to get some socket head equivalents sorted out for these kits ASAP. Alternatively, if you can't wait until he has those available, I will leave a link in the video description along with the link to Motone's page for these parts to a set of suitable socket head screws that will do the job. It's important that you don't go any longer than 20mm because they'll bottom out on the thread before you've been able to tighten the plate up. I tried various different sizes, and I came to the conclusion that the 15mm long were too short because these parts are considerably thicker than the original parts. So in my view, the 15mm version just didn't have enough meat on the thread to hold these on safely, in my opinion. As per usual with Motone Customs, these parts are a precision fit. They fit into the circular groove on the engine casings perfectly as if they were a factory fit, which is of course what Motone Customs are famous for. Now, you've just seen me fit the left hand panel. I'm not going to go through the fitting with you because it's child's play. It's just 3 bolts. What I would stress is do not over tighten these. Obviously, you're fastening a stainless steel fastener into an alloy engine casing and they're easy to strip. Just screw them in until the thread stops, and then about 1/8 of a turn is all that's required to secure them. Don't go any further than that. Now, thread lock. People always say to me you should use thread lock on these parts. Yes, I agree. Personally, I've never had any problems with these parts falling off when I've not used thread lock, but quite often with bikes on this channel, I'm removing and refitting the same fasteners time and time again, and in a situation like that, if you're using thread lock, it can cause issues with the threads that requires them to be recut. So I don't do it when I'm filming. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it if you feel you need to. Now, along with a link to Motone's webpage for these parts, there will of course be in the video description down below an exclusive 12% discount code that will allow you to have 12% discount off any Motone custom part that you choose. Single or multiple order, whether it's for Triumph or for Honda. The other thing that I should mention is that Motone Customs make these parts purely as sort of decorative custom parts. They're not intended to have any practical heat dissipation properties, although I can't help thinking, you know, physics is physics. By the very nature of the way they're designed, there must be some advantage in using them in reducing engine temperatures, especially if you live in a hotter country. Now, the other thing that I should mention as well is the positioning of the fins on these parts. They may look like they're sloping down a little bit at the front, but what you've got to remember is that I had the bike on its centre stand whilst I was filming this to keep it as stable and safe as possible. These fins are actually aligned with the cooling fins on the cylinder head. So when the bike's off its stand and sitting on both wheels, they are dead straight and horizontal to the road. Now, I hope these next few clips show just how precise these parts fit. We get so used to ill-fitting sort of third-party parts in the motorcycle customs scene. Motone Customs are one of the standalone companies that get the precision of fit just as though they came from the original factory. The fit is absolute perfection no matter what angle you look at it from. Now, I know when I showcased these parts for the Triumphs some years ago now, I mean, there are various colour options available. You can go full blackout. I think there's a polished alloy version, the contrast cut like you can see here. There might even be brass versions, and there is a version for the oil filter cover which I haven't fitted yet, because there's a possibility that I might lose a little bit of oil and I don't have any top up at the moment. These are a bit of a love-hate sort of part. I know from the Triumph ones that I showcased, some people loved them, some people hated them. That's what the motorcycle world is all about, you know, different tastes and different options to make the motorcycle your own. Personally, I think they blend in really well with the motorcycle. They make the Honda GB350 S just that little bit more aggressive looking, with that classic tangible link to the Webco legacy. And total fitting time for both sides is only about 3 minutes. Now, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this and my other videos, and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate it. There are other ways that you can show your appreciation by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel if you're not already a subscriber, or you could leave a donation via PayPal or via my Patreon page. The links to both of those are in the video description down below. Or you could use the super thanks button just below the picture that you're watching now. Not essential, but either way it is much appreciated. I am of course going to be back on Friday, so until then, please ride safely and I'll see you soon.